think that I'm going to hiding somewhere by a gated star. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me. I'm a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. I won't let you down. We could have the world to ourselves, going to a place that's far, staring at the stars for hours, 'cause you're a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. don't know until it happens. Ain't a thing you see coming a mile away.
Hey, Tequila peeps! Welcome to this episode of Keeping It Real with the Hombre, my podcast live stream. Today we're going to have a really interesting discussion and have a topic we're going to talk about. It's going to be really informative, okay? So what I'm going to ask from you guys to do right now, or when we started here, is let's refrain from bringing up any people's names, attacking anybody. Let's keep this civil. Let's keep it fact-based. Let's get the information out, and then have a really nice conversation with just the facts, okay? This isn't about attacking people. I don't attack people. I refuse to do that. I don't believe in trying to raise myself by attacking others. So instead, we're going to keep this a civil, mature conversation. We're going to talk about what the rules are. We're going to talk about what happened and what this means. And we're going to give you all kinds of information here that is for you to make a decision as an informed consumer, okay? That's my goal. That's always my goal on any of the information I provide in my videos. Of course, I'm not paid by anybody. I don't accept money for reviews. I don't accept money from organizations to push narratives. I don't accept money from anybody except for you guys, the viewers who support me through memberships in the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, as well as here on YouTube and through watching my videos. So I have no affiliation with the CRT whatsoever. I have no affiliation with any organization that does additive-free stuff, or any distilleries that make additive-laden tequila or anything like that. This is going to be the facts. We're going to take a deep dive look at what's going on here and why, and we're going to have a discussion about that. So let's keep things civil. Let's not bring up anybody's names. I don't want to talk about people. I don't want to talk about what people said. If there's something that somebody said, leave their name out of it, but just say, what do you think about a statement like this? And we can discuss that. We're not talking about individuals here. I refuse to do that. I am not into attacking people or making claims about people, okay? So this is going to be about tequila and about what's going on in the industry with what happened. There's been a lot of attacking going on from people right now because of what I've posted on Facebook, where I posted what happened, and a lot of people making false statements. So we're going to address the false statements and stuff like that as well. And we're going to have a good time doing a discussion, okay? So let's keep it real. But first, I want to check in with my subscribers real quick. And hey, hola, Joseph. Bienvenido. Welcome. Hey, hola. Hookem from Texas. Yes. Hey, Rob. How you doing, buddy? Bienvenido, Jermaine. What's up, Mark? Absolutely enjoying the mezcal glass. Been enjoying that El Luchador Añejo. Very good. And last night, opened a bottle of the San Matias Gran Reserva Extra Añejo. So good. Hope all is well with you and your family. All is well with me and my family. And thank you. And I appreciate the message you sent about my wife when you heard about what happened with her. So I appreciate that, you guys. I appreciate all of you that sent me a note, too. So, hey, Curtis. Hola. Bienvenido. Welcome. Hey, Beyond Barrels. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. This is going to be, yes, it's going to be a good one. I've got a lot of stuff prepared. We have a lot of stuff to cover. So it may end up going maybe a couple of hours, but it should be good. So what is the most used additive used? Well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, okay? Once I get into the presentation. I am the last to know about this stuff. Oh, no worries. 818 says, salud, 818 Creations. Hey, Miguel, bienvenido, welcome. Hey, Ivan, bienvenido, welcome. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about what happened yesterday. A big bomb was dropped on the tequila industry by the CRT. The CRT, for those of you who don't know, is the government agency that regulates tequila and protects the denomination of origin, protects the phrase, the term tequila, okay? So I'm going to read to you what, it's going to be boring, and it's going to sound a little weird because This was translated from Spanish, and so sometimes the translations don't really sound that great in English, but you'll get the gist of what's saying. So yesterday, a memo went out, a press release, and a notification from the CRT, which is the regulating agency that governs tequila. And it was labeled to tequila producers, bottlers, and tequila marketers, subject free of additives. The source, the CRT, January 31st, 2024. All right, so this letter went on to say, as you are aware, some tequila brands have been using in their labeling and advertising information several commercial legends in order to emphasize certain attributes of their products, including statements about the existence of certifications, verifications, and or confirmations about certain specific processes, among other differentiators. Now it says, while it is true that there is a growing interest in boasting in product labeling and or advertising information attributes based on specific characteristics of the production process, such as maturation times, amount of distillations, you see twice distilled on there all the time, or triple distilled, equipment or material used, use of barrels, among others. And it's also true that these additional assertions must be fully verifiable in order to comply with the various legal provisions, among which are, and then there's a bunch of laws that they say that this has to be in compliance with. And these laws are the federal law for the protection of industrial property, the federal consumer protection law, which is Ley Federal de Protección de Consumidor, the federal consumer protection law, and the federal law for protection of industrial property, the federal consumer protection law. There's like a bunch of different protection laws. And then it says, and the tequila standard NOM 006 SCFI-2012, alcoholic beverages, tequila specification NOM de tequila, and the Declaration of Protection of the Appellation of Origin Tequila DOT. Okay, so they went through all these laws that talk about that this is needs to be in compliance with. And so then the next paragraph is, in light of the aforementioned regulation, the Consejo Regulador Tequila, or the CRT, is the only organization that has the necessary infrastructure to evaluate the conformity of the tequila, of the quality of tequila in general, and the existence of the aforementioned commercial claim in particular, in order to guarantee the consumer, you, the real existence of such attributes. So truth in labeling is what they're talking about. So in the next paragraph, it says, in this context, the Technical Committee of Certification of the CRT has initiated the corresponding work to define in an interdisciplinary and inclusive manner the appropriate normative parameters for use of the additive-free legend. So in order not to provide full technical certainty to the economic agents of the tequila industry, but also in order to guarantee the adequate guide the consumers of tequila in the understanding that such technical criteria is defined, it will be submitted to the approval of the General Directorate of Standards, the DGN, under the terms of the LIC. So it says, in the absence of such technical parameters, we consider that any scheme offered in the market to certify, verify, or confirm in any language that a certain trademark is additive free, it represents an act contrary to good customs and practices and induces error or confusion to the tequila consumer, which is inconsistent with Article 32 of the LFPC, the Article 386 of the LFPPI. Consequently, you are hereby informed that the CRT will not represent its opinion in this respect, nor will it issue commercial information statements that include the legend additive free, its translation to another language or other similar ones until the corresponding technical criteria is duly approved by the competent authority. Being sure that we count on your unconditional support to build an integral solution that gives certainty to the whole industrial and commercial chain of tequila, we thank you in advance for your prudence and cooperation in the high responsibility of safeguarding the DOT. So that's the letter. That's the letter from the CRT. So what they basically have done is made it illegal for you to use the term additive free on labels, on stickers, on bottles, and on advertising too. It's illegal to use it. And so I just got a message that a distillery had found out from a distillery, from a brand, that they got a letter from the CRT that says, look, if you use additive free or any statement on a label, like for example, if you say aged in bourbon liquor barrels on your label, you're going to have to be able to prove, verify, show where you got your barrels from to verify that is indeed like a bourbon barrel. Okay, so when people say double barrel and Yejos, they're going to have be able to verify and prove that they indeed use double barrels. If they say additive free on it, they're going to have to be able to verify and prove that it is indeed additive free. Okay, and so anybody that wants to do additive free, saying things are additive free, they have to submit their processes. They have to submit what they're doing to verify that to the CRT for approval, for them to say, yes, this will indeed tell us that there's no additives in it, and so you're approved to use this, and they'll get the approval from the CRT to do so. Or the CRT, from what I understand in the whole document, the CRT has plans on doing its own program and coming out with its own additive-free program. But let's talk a little bit about tequila in general, and let's talk about what's going on, in tequila in general, and what's the deal with additives, because additives have become a boogeyman, and it's kind of just weird. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about tequila. What is tequila, right? Tequila is ethanol alcohol. That's what it is. It's ethanol alcohol. Now, it's a poison. It's a poison. Tequila is a poison. And if we look at like what the World Health Organization says, no level of alcohol consumption is safe for our health. Okay, it's a poison. So people are worried about additives and their poison. Seems kind of weird, right? So it's a poison. All right. Secondly, you're drinking poison. So let's talk a little bit about additives. First of all, I know one main misconception that that people have made is that 100% agave. Okay, what 100% agave means? There's a lot of people out there, a lot of viewers, a lot of consumers that think 100% agave means that it's only agave in the bottle. Well, that's not correct. What 100% agave means is that only agave was used as a fermentable in the production of tequila. Now, see, there's tequila. If a bottle just says tequila on it and it doesn't say 100% agave, it has to be at least 51% agave, and the rest can be any other fermentable that they want to use. The one mostly used is cane sugar. You'll see piloncillo sometime too, which is a Mexican brown sugar. For example, like El Tequileno, they have a Mixto Blanco, just tequila on it, not 100% agave, and that's 70% agave and 30% piloncillo, which is a brown sugar. It's delicious. It tastes great. And then you also have like San Matias Gran Reserva in Mexico. If you buy it in Mexico, not the U.S. version. The U.S. version is 100% agave. If you buy it in Mexico, it is 70% agave, 30% piloncillo cane sugar too. So there's some of those out there. So if it just says tequila and 100% tequila, then it's not. If it's not 100% agave. If it's 100% agave, it'll say 100% agave on the bottle. Now, everyone thinks, well, if you're putting additives in it, how can they still say 100% agave? Well, like I said, that's in regards to fermentables. And I want to show you something. This is a brand that's out there. It's 100% agave, but it has berry flavoring added to it. It's called Salt. A while back, Salt sent me some bottles to do a review on. It tastes great. It tastes good, but it has flavoring in it. I'm not one to drink flavored tequilas. But there was nothing wrong with it. But see, you can have flavored tequilas like this that are 100% agave. So 100% agave, so saying that putting additives in there is deceptive because it says 100% agave on the bottle is wrong. That's not the case. 100% agave refers to fermentables. And the CRT is there, always monitoring that. And, we'll talk a little bit more about the CRT here in a little bit. All right, so that's what 100% agave means. It doesn't mean that there's nothing else in the bottle, okay? So the CRT is the organization that regulates tequila, and they protect the NOM, right? And they make sure that the tequila industry is protected. And the reason why they were formed is because that way, people in the United States or in other countries can't make something called tequila and put anything in a bottle and submit it so consumers think they're drinking tequila when in reality they aren't. Instead, there's rules as to where it can be produced. It has to be produced in Mexico, in either Jalisco or 4 outlying municipalities around Jalisco. If it's 100% agave, it has to be bottled in Jalisco. It has to have a NOM on it. There's all kinds of rules that have to be followed. Now, in 1994, the CRT started allowing the use of additives. And the reason being is, we'll talk about additives in just a minute. And they started with the use of additives. And in 1997, they kind of changed it to put in like the amounts that they can use, okay? So what the norma states, this is what the norma states. There's 2 types of additives that can be used in tequila. There's mellowing additives and there's flavoring additives, okay? So the mellowing additives, there's only 4 kinds of mellowing additives that are allowed to be used. Now, by mellowing additives, these are ones that typically calm down tequila, make it so it's not so hot and easy to drink and stuff like that. So there's caramel coloring, which of course, makes it attractive visually. There's the natural oak extract, which, okay, it's oak extract. It gives it the oak flavor. And there's glycerin, which is primarily vegetable glycerin. And there's sugar syrup, simple syrup with sugar and water. And that one's used a little bit too, but not too much. Okay, and then there's flavoring additives, which can be vanilla flavoring, caramel flavoring, stuff like that can help influence, if they didn't get what they wanted from the barrels, they can add a little bit more. Now, these additives can only be used in aged tequilas. That's what the norma says. They're not to be used in blancos. They're to be used in aged tequilas. Now, is there some loophole or something where, I haven't dug down deep enough to see if there's a loophole or not, but the rule states that you're not allowed to use additives in blancos. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about is that the flavoring additives, one of the reasons why you can't really say that you're not using additives is because flavoring additives cannot be detected. They cannot be detected. And the reason being is a lot of the compounds that are in the flavoring additives that add the flavor come from the wood that you age in. And I went over this if you watched my video on wood aging and on additives and stuff, I talked about that. Vanillin is the main compound in wood that adds the vanilla and flavor that we like. And then the caramel comes from caramelized sugars in the wood. Same with chocolates, more of the caramelized and burnt sugars in the wood. So there's a lot of things that come out of the wood that add additives to the tequila when aging. Matter of fact, you really can't say you don't use additives if you're using a barrel, because if it's a bourbon barrel and there's still bourbon in it, you're putting bourbon into it. If there's or whatever liquor or wine or alcohol that was in the barrel, it's going into the tequila. There's vanillin going in, there's the compounds that the oak color, all that stuff. It's all additives that are being added to the tequila just through the wood. So with that being said, since you can't detect the flavoring additives, it's really almost basically impossible to say that your thing is additive free and to be able to prove it to the CRT when making that statement, because you could have used vanilla extract in there, and it's made with vanillin, and vanillin's the compound that causes it. There's already going to be vanillin in there. Matter of fact, there's vanillin also in agave, and so sometimes when you taste the blanco, you may taste a light vanilla flavor from it, because vanillin is naturally found in plants, and wood pulp right now is one of the main sources for pulling vanillin out to make vanilla flavoring. So wood pulp, we use barrels, all this stuff. So, people have gone crazy over additives, thinking they're putting poison in there and they're hiding it from you, when everything that is allowed to be put in is 100% ingestible. It's 100% food safe. Nothing in here is poison. Now, glycerin is most of the time is vegetable glycerin, and vegetable glycerin is completely harmless. Some people may have adverse reactions to it if they have an allergy to glycerin, which, that you find out because you get a headache or whatever from it, but it's deemed safe for human consumption. All of these have been deemed safe for human consumption. Now, I've seen rumors, I've seen people stating that, they're putting highly modified artificial sweeteners in it and all kinds of other things. I have yet to find anybody that I've talked to that are using any, what is this, not saccharin or anything like that in tequila. I've yet to find anybody. I've talked to a lot of people. I've yet to find anybody that goes, yeah, we're adding artificial sweeteners. Most of the time, it's glycerin. Glycerin is a natural sweetener, vegetable glycerin. It's an organic compound as well. You can buy organic vegetable glycerin. Most of the time, it's that. That's the number one used additive right now amongst people in the tequila industry is glycerin. And they add it in there because it rounds out the tequila, gives it a mouthfeel, but also can smooth it out so it's not so harsh. And it's widely accepted. There's other liquors that use glycerin in them as well. So there's a lot of people that are passing misinformation around. Don't be fooled by that. Look at the rules. Really do some research and find out about what's actually in the tequila and what the additives are. Now, let me see, where are we going to now? All right, so the reason why the CRT shut this down, and people are thinking, it sounds like the big guys, sounds like Jose Cuervo or whatever is forcing this. No, it's not. Not from what I found. They don't care. People, the number one tequila still selling in the United States, go research what it is. They don't care. It doesn't bother them. It's not a big deal to them. You can't push this on the big guys. The reason why this is happening is because they're afraid that their consumers are being misled. The consumers are being deceived. And it's because who's to say that people that are saying that they're additive free aren't using flavoring additives that can't be detected? You can't tell. Now, when I talked to somebody that was doing the process and stuff, I asked him, I said, he goes, well, we look for glycerin, and if they have glycerin, the chances are they're using everything else. If there's no glycerin, then we pretty much assumed it's safe because, if they're using flavoring additives, most likely they're using glycerin. That's incorrect. You can use flavoring additives without glycerin to increase your vanilla flavor or your caramel flavor. But glycerin is one of the ones that can be detected, maybe one of the only ones that can be detected, considering that you're barrel aging. And the reason why is because glycerin, although it is a natural product that's in the fermentation, glycerin doesn't come out of the still. It doesn't evaporate and come out of the still because it's got a very high evaporation temperature. So it's left in the still normally, because it will form during fermentation. So if you drink beer and wine, there's glycerin in it. You're drinking glycerin, but it's just comes from the fermentation of the wine and the beer and stuff. So this glycerin that they add to it's vegetable glycerin, and they add it to smooth things out a little bit. And if you want to know whether your tequila that you're drinking has glycerin in it, I did a video on an additive test that will show you. It's really easy, and this is what the CRT told me they do to check. Is they'll literally take a test tube, they fill it up with alcohol, they take a reading on what volume it is. Then they heat that up and evaporate off the alcohol and the water. And then anything left is going to be what was either added from a barrel or added afterwards, because everything else that came out of the still is going to be gone because it evaporated just like it does in the still. And then you can analyze that particular substance. And what I did in my reviews is, if it's sweet and gelatinous, it's glycerin. And so there's a times where I did tests on certain bottles, and there was a gelatinous, sweet gel on the bottom of the pan when I evaporated off the tequila, and that tells me that there's glycerin in there. But, it's not bad for me. It's not going to kill me, the fact that it's in there. It's just in there. So if you want to know whether your tequila has glycerin in it, that's a simple way to do it, is pour a little bit in a pan. I mean, I use a bigger pan at the stainless steel so I can see what's formed on it. On the stainless, after I evaporate it off, you can use a test tube. I've had a guy on my Discord that did a thing with the test tube warmer and test tubes, and he was able to see all the stuff that was left in the additive stuff and the stuff that's not left. I did it with El Tesoro. I did with other brands too. You can see there was nothing left except, bitter wood particles, which means it was coming from the wood itself. There's ways to know. But the problem is, there's a lot of people out there that are thinking that a tequila is additive free, when indeed there's no way to actually say 100% that it's additive free. So it's deceiving the consumer. And then what also is happening, and this happens with me all the time, and it's really strange. I have people all the time that after I do a review, they'll ask me, they say, hey, is that tequila that you did the review on additive free? And I said, yeah, I believe so. And the reason I can tell you is because most of the time it's by taste. If it's really sweet and syrupy and has a lot of vanilla and caramel to it, and it's very one-dimensional, flat, it's most likely got additives in it. And another way, for you to make a decision as to whether something is something you want to drink or not, is if you like the taste, drink it. It's not going to kill you. They're not putting poisons in your poison that you're drinking. They're not poisoning your poison. Instead, drink it. Don't worry about it. Now, if you like the flavor of it, drink it. Don't worry about it. Nothing's going to hurt you. And it's like, if you like it, drink it. And that's what a lot of people say all the time. Now, I'm not a fan of additive tequila. I do not like additive-laden tequila. And the reason why I don't like it is because it's too syrupy and sweet for me, and it doesn't taste like what natural tequila tastes like. So when I did my review, I looked to see how complex the spirit is. I like to see, what kind of flavors I'm pulling from it. If I'm just getting vanilla and caramel and it's really sweet, nope, no thank you. I will never buy that tequila again. But it doesn't mean that people that like it shouldn't be able to buy it or should be ridiculed. There's a lot of people that are insulting people about the tequila that they post about on Facebook, whether it's Clase Azul or any of the other ones that have the history or the opinion of being additive laden. If people want to drink it, let them drink it. Now, one of the things in my trips to Mexico, I go to Mexico all the time. I'm there 2-3 times a year, talking to master distillers. And you find out, if you are there to learn about what they're doing and are truly interested in not attacking them and not, affecting their business, they'll tell you a lot of things. They'll let you know what's going on. And every master distiller, every distillery that I've ever been to, they will drink what they make. So they're not going to make anything that's poisonous or bad for you if they're drinking it themselves. They're very passionate people. In most of the cases that I've seen, they love what they do. They're honored with what they do. It's a reflection of them and their families a lot of times. And you'll find out that they're really, really good people. They're not there to deceive people. They're not there to trick people. And a lot of times when I ask people, I'll say, hey, I noticed, this is really sweet and stuff. Did you put additives in it? And they'll go, yeah. It's something that they're not proud of. They're not proud that they did it. And I said, well, why did you put additives and stuff? And they go, well, it's because what the client wanted. The client says, hey, I want it to be more vanilla and sweet. I want it to be, they've got no choice but to put some additives in there to give the client what they want. And right now it's the additive sweet tequilas that are the big sellers here in the United States. That's what people are enjoying. That's what people are drinking. Clase Azul is a big seller. Don Julio 1942 is a big seller. That's what people are drinking. Now, the additive-free people are just a small part of it. But what's happening, and what I've heard from people in the industry, is that they're getting messages that say, hey, are you using additives in it? And they're saying, no, there's no additives in our tequila. And they're being honest about it. A lot of these brands I know, and I've talked to the brand owners and the distillers and stuff. They're like, we don't use additives. And then they'll say, well, why are you not part of so-and-so program? And they like, because we don't feel like we need to be. The CRT is what governs our tequila industry. They're the ones that make these, that do certifications. We don't feel like we need to be a part of it, which is a really reasonable response for me. And they end up getting attacked for it. And so I get messages from master distillers and stuff all the time. They're like, oh my God, these people won't leave me alone, because there's a lot of consumers out there that have this misinformation and this idea that they're being poisoned secretly by these master distillers, when indeed they're not. They're not. And it's simple. Like, if you want to know, hey, is this tequila going to be sweet that I'm buying? Watch my reviews. Watch or send me a message. I'll tell you what's sweet and what's not sweet and what I think has additives and what doesn't. I'm not going to make any declaration that 100% does, but I'll tell you what my opinion is. A lot of times you can taste it. Like I said, if it's mostly vanilla, you're not getting a lot of agave flavor, because these additives are pretty powerful. And so you put a little bit in, it really changes the whole flavor profile of the tequila. They're not going to sneak a little bit of vanilla flavoring in or caramel flavoring and it hide in the background. That kind of stuff doesn't happen. They put it in, it comes to the front. It's like, that's all you get. The tequila becomes one-dimensional. So these are the things that you guys need to know. Nobody's poisoning you. You have nothing to worry about. Now, I've had people with brands that I know don't use additives, and the reason why I know is because I've gone to the distillery. I've tasted the tequila right out of the barrel. I've been there with the CRT when they pulled the plug on the barrel, and gotten the information from the tequila producer, and tried the tequila right out of the barrel with no additives, going, yeah, this is beautiful. Because the additives go in after they dump it out of the barrel. They don't put additives in a barrel. They taste it, and then if they're going to add additives, they add additives then. So I know that some of these brands don't use additives because I've been there. And if you want to know whether a brand that you like is using additives, ask if you can come visit. Most of the time, they're very transparent. They'll say, come visit, watch what we do. They'll tell you. They love showing off their production, especially to Americans. They love it. And they'll treat you like family. You'll get lots of good attention. They'll share lots of information with you, and they'll show you the operation, show you everything they do. A lot of the big guys won't do it. Salsa won't. But we know not to drink that stuff off the start anyways, right? We know that it's not good quality tequila. It doesn't taste good. So why do we need to buy it? Now, if you like the taste of salsa or any of that stuff, and you enjoy drinking it and you like the price point of it, then buy it. It's fine. So these are some of the things you need to look at. People are like, well, it needs to be about transparency. Well, the stuff's in there anyways. Who cares? There's nothing going in there that wasn't already in there, except for maybe glycerin. Okay, so it's like, okay, if they put on there with glycerin in it, would you know what that meant? Would you know? Okay, well, do you know how many foods that you consume every day have vegetable glycerin or some form of glycerin in them? I sat down and talked with my father a few weeks ago, and my brother. They're both chemical engineers. Food developers. They worked in the food development industry as chemical engineers. My dad's a PhD chemical engineer, very smart guy. He knows a lot of stuff about what's going on. And he's like, oh, this stuff's perfectly safe. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And they use it in stuff and all this stuff that they make that people consume every day. Now, if you're worried about labeling and you want labeling to happen, we have a way of doing that here in the United States. We have the TTB and the Food and Drug Administration, right? Don't go into a foreign country and try to tell them how to make their product. I mean, that's kind of rude. If we want to change it here, what stuff comes in here, we want information on the labels. If you can get the FDA or the TTB to require that the ingredients be posted on the label for everybody, right? For bourbon, for whiskey, for any alcohol that comes into the United States, they're the ones to do it. Because then if they want to import in the United States, they have to be in compliance with the TTB. They're the regulating agency here in the United States. But we're going into a foreign country and we're trying to tell them how they need to run their tequila and stuff. And it's like, look, if you don't like the way they run it, if you don't like what they put on the label or what they do, don't buy it. No one's forcing you to buy it. I'm okay buying it. It doesn't bother me. I love tequila. I've got a ton of it. But no one's forcing you to buy it. And the biggest way to pass a message to the tequila industry or even to the TTB here is to not buy it. Then it sits on the shelf. And then they're like, okay, well, what's going on? But to go in and try to tell the CRT how to run their business, people, the tequila industry, the industry here would not dare try to tell the TTB how to run their business. They wouldn't dare. Now, I got a message from a master distiller. We were talking about the CRT. They got notices that said, look, if you make a claim on your label, you better 100% be able to prove it. So if you say we age in bourbon barrels, you better 100% be able to show that the barrels you're using are ex-bourbon barrels. You got to show the chain of where they came from. If you make a claim that it's additive free, you got to be able to verify 100% accuracy that it's additive free. And if you don't, you can lose your production for a month or more. So they will not be able to produce tequila for a month or more. They will shut down the distillery for a month or more. And I've heard in some cases too, if you keep doing it, they can remove your nom. They can take away your nom number. They can take away your nom number. They won't be able to produce tequila anymore. Distilleries don't want to do that. This is their livelihood. They have families to feed. Their employees have families to feed. And if people don't want to buy tequila with super sweet vanilla flavoring to it or super sweet, tequila in general, leave it on the shelf. Don't buy it. You're speaking with your money. That's the best way. That's the best way. And the longer it sits on the shelf and people are going, well, I don't want additives in my tequila when they're talking to the producers. We don't want sweet tequila because people in the United States don't like it anymore. They'll stop making it. So we have a power of being consumers and what we spend our money on. But as long as the top sellers are Clase Azul and Cava de Oro and Additive and stuff, they're going to keep making sweet tequila because people like it. And if people like it and they want to drink it, let them drink it. Don't insult them for it. So when people are like, hey, you're just tequila style, I understand where they're coming from because they want to drink what they want to drink. They want to enjoy it. But the thing I'm big about is knowing what you're drinking, right? Knowing that's sweet tequila. If you like sweet tequila, then drink it, enjoy it. But if you want to try what tequila tastes like without being adulterated, try this. And we know what distilleries don't use additives. We know a lot of them. Without them having to buy into a program or participate in a program. We don't have to do that. And so this frees things up now. But this also puts, there was brands that were not in part of a program that still had additive free on their label. That put it on the label. I've seen posters say additive free on it, in stores. They put a stop to that too. They put a stop to everyone using additive free. And like I said, if you make the claim, you better be able to prove it. That's what they're saying. And if not, you're going to face the consequences. The CRT regulates tequila. You don't like the CRT and what the CRT is doing, don't buy tequila. Simple. No one's forcing you to. Drink bourbon. Drink whiskey. No one's forcing you to. All right. There. I think that was a pretty good discussion so far, right? We did what, 39 minutes, 40 minutes. I went into this stuff. It's really simple. So let's see what some of the comments are here. I like my soda additive free. I have a soda stream. We make soda here, and I'll use fresh flavorings and stuff for it. I don't mind that at all. San Matias, PNCO, right? That's the sugar, right? El Mexico, bienvenido, welcome. Stephen O says, sounds like the big guys who use a lot of additives push. No, not at all. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Good morning, hombre. Raining Cali and IE. Still happy. Yes, it is raining. It's pouring here. It's supposed to pour here for like the next 5 days. So while you may not be able to tell one vanillin from another, I'm guessing there's a way of testing for levels of that relative to compounds any found in wood or agave that could prove it was added. No, there's no way. Vanillin's vanillin. They look for the compound, and when you're pulling a sample, you don't know. There are likely hundreds of such marker compounds that could be, but no, it's not. They use vanillin in natural flavoring. You'd have to do studies on the range of them. Well, that's the whole thing, is you would not know, and somebody could, depending on what kind of flavoring they used, I mean, there's literally no way to detect. And if you ever look at purchasing, I know Beyond Barrels does, but if you ever go for cooperages and stuff, you can actually look. They'll give you product data sheets that tell you how much vanillin is in the wood, and also what flavor profiles you can get from them for new wood. Of course, a lot of the wood that they use in Mexico comes from used bourbon or whiskey barrels or cognac barrels or wine barrels or other liquor barrels and stuff too. So some of that may be depleted already, but a lot of times they're able to withdraw more of it out of there even after the bourbon's done. But then you also get the bourbon and stuff in there. So great video. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Are you opposed to independent study? It doesn't bother me. If somebody wants to test their tequila, test it. Do an independent study. But you're not going to be able to detect everything. That's the whole thing behind it. Is like, look, if I wanted to take bottles of tequila and send it to a lab for analysis, they'll put it in a mass spec machine or a headspace machine and do an analysis on it, and it can tell you all the compounds found in it. But you can't know whether they're been added or if they came from the wood when you identify stuff. You can't know. It's impossible. It's undetectable. And if you care that much, feel free to grab, when you buy your bottle, send it off to a lab. Or if you have a friend that runs a lab, send it off to them for analysis and see what you find. But do you do that with every bourbon you buy? Do you do that with every whiskey you buy? Do you do that with every vodka you buy? Do you do that with every rum that you buy? I mean, the rum industry, from what I hear, there's a lot of issues with additives in rum. Let's be consistent, right? The problem is most buying the added tequilas, they want that sweetness. Not a lot of those are listening to celebrities, so those brands will never go. Yeah, exactly. It's fine, because look, while we may not like them and not agree with them and not want to buy them, there's people out there that do, and when they do, they're feeding, they're funding the distilleries. The master distillers, their distillery owners, their families, they're feeding people in Mexico and giving them a livelihood. They're giving them a living. So what's wrong with that, right? If they like the sweet stuff, what's wrong with it? Let them enjoy it. The distilleries are making money from it. They're feeding their families. They're They're paying their employees, and their employees have jobs and are making money. And they're paying, humidors to go out and bring more agave in. Everyone's making money and feeding their families and living. And there's nothing wrong with making a living. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is when you buy Additivo, there's a distillery that made it, that the master distiller is making money, and he's paying his employees, and he's able to hire and keep his employees working, so their families are getting fed. Everyone's having a living. They're buying clothes. They're able to have a house. They're able to make a living. Let people make a living. What's your take on Magenta Grand? I haven't tried the Magenta Grand Reserve, so I don't know. I haven't had it yet, so I can't give a take on it. Does the CRT also maintain rules for mezcal? Or is it, no, that's a different body. It's called the CRM that monitors mezcal. You were a big basher of those bad tequilas that even on your phrase, life is too short to drink. Well, I'm still, don't like life is too short to drink bad tequila. I still believe that. There's a lot of bad tequila out there, but it doesn't mean they're using additives. There's a lot of bad tequila made without additives. But yeah, I'm still a firm believer that life's too short to drink bad tequila. I won't drink it. There's diffused tequila out there that's bad. I don't like it. I don't recommend it. And I don't drink additive tequila. So it doesn't mean that I'm a proponent of drinking and consuming additive tequila, but those that want to drink it, let them. I'm about educating people about for those that use that don't like additives, what ones to pick. I do reviews, I give you my opinion and whether I think that they're naturally tasting and stuff based on my experience. So I still do that, and I still think life's too short to drink bad tequila, and I recommend amazing brands that I've been to the distillery, I've seen how they're made, I've tasted them, I've done reviews, I know the people behind them, and I give you my opinion that I believe they're additive free. Now, whether that you can say they're confirmed or definitely no additives in it, no. But based on what I've tasted, based on my experience, I can pretty much assure you that they don't use additives, and based on knowing the people too. You go to a distillery and you meet a master distiller and you see what they do and you learn about them and you spend time with them, you'll know whether they use additives or not, and they'll tell you. I have friendships with a lot of these guys. I don't attack them. Now, I've changed my thinking somewhat. I've learned, right? We grow. And I don't know everything still today. I'm learning and growing every day, right? So I rely on really valuable sources for information. I didn't know everything when I first started this, but I learned and I'm growing. And when you learn, when you're educated and you have information and you learn what you're talking and you learn about the subject you're talking about, you can change your opinion sometimes and you can grow. And while still I'm not a fan of drinking tequila with additives in it, I don't like them. I can understand what people do. Some people don't like the taste of what natural tequila tastes like. I've had people tell me, hey, I used to drink Clase Azul, and then a friend recommended this, and I tried it, and I don't like it more than Clase Azul, and that's fine. Then drink the Clase Azul. And I tell people, okay, just to understand that there's vanilla flavoring and caramel flavoring in that to give it its flavor profile. And the one I recommended to you doesn't use that stuff. That's what tequila tastes like, naturally. And like, okay, great, I know, thank you. And so they have the power. If they want to make their decision later, they can. If they don't, oh well. We consume much worse stuff than these, exactly, in the meals that we consume while drinking our additive-free tequila. The issue I have is when additives are used to cover defects. That's what they're used for. I mean, that's what aging's done too, all right? People age bad tequila to make it taste better. It's aging covers up. If you want tequila in its truest form, drink it as a Blanco. Then you get all the defects and stuff in it. They're not using additives in Blancos. And you can tell when it's a bad Blanco. You can tell. I mean, I get bad Blancos all the time. I drink stuff. I've tried stuff that people have said, hey, try this brand. I've tried it. And I was like, oh my God, that was horrible. So bitter and sour. And oh no, drink it with some lemon or put it in the refrigerator. And it's like, look, if I have to put it in the refrigerator at ice, I'm not doing that. I drink it neat in a glass. What about additive bomb stickers? No. It is a collector's item though, but no, we're still going to do, because we don't sell tequila with additives on ferment and still. We don't. So if people are looking for the additive stuff, they'll have to go to other stores to get it, but let them do it. Like I said, I'm not in favor of additives. I don't drink additive tequila. My wife does. She loves it, but I don't bash her for it. We have a bottle of 818 in our pantry from when somebody had sent me a bottle of 818 to do a review. I gave it to her and said, here, she likes it. So if she wants to drink it, I let her. But I don't like it. And I don't want to promote it. I don't promote those brands. They don't need my promotion a lot of times. Casa Azul, everyone knows about it. They have their own marketing budgets and stuff. Let them do what they want to do. What is this? I'm not worried about buying a bottle of poison tequila, exactly. I'm worried that I'm going to buy an overpriced bottle of overly sweet, syrupy tequila. Continue. Yeah, okay. Well, that's understandable. And if you watch reviews, they can tell you whether it's going to be sweet or not, right? Because they dumped a bunch of additives to fix some marginal tequila. I'd like to know beforehand by having something that will tell me on the bottle or on their website info. Well, a lot of times if you just look, ask people, they can tell you, I can tell you whether it's going to be overly sweet or not. But right now it's not going to be on the bottle. So, and if you don't like it and don't want to take the risk, quit drinking tequila. Otherwise, there's lots of resources out there that will tell you whether it's sweet or not. And if it's sweet and people are saying that it's got additives in it, then there's a good chance it does. Or if it's just sweet and maybe they don't use additives, I don't know. If it's just sweet, stay away from it. Right? I don't like sweet tequila. I don't like tequila to be too sweet. I'm a big fan of cooked agave. I love the cooked agave flavor profile. So that's what I look about. How about Casa Noble Añejo? I don't know. I've never had Casa Noble. I haven't had it recently. I had it a long time ago. When I had it, it was in a purple bottle, and it was good. But that was like years ago. I haven't had it in a long time. So, all we can do is properly educate newcomers to what traditional tequila is, and then let them make their own. Exactly. Yes. Thank you. I do not judge them on what someone wants to drink. I just give them that's the whole reason why I'm here, right? I'm here to give them the information, because the power that a consumer has is in the information that we get, right? And I'm here to tell you guys and to share with you and give you the information you need to make an informed decision. That's exactly what I do. Got your agave glass. Nice. The Denver Lively glasses are my favorite. They're amazing. Is there any good reason to have an extra añejo cristalino? I'm not a big fan of cristalinos. So I would say no. I'm not a big fan of cristalinos. Does Casa Noble Añejo have additives? I don't know. I like I said, I haven't tasted it recently. When I had it before, I would say no. When I had it before, the older stuff, it didn't. But I do know that there's a guy named Pepe there that's the barrel guy, and he's really good at barrel aging. So I know he's known for his barrel stuff. So, but I don't know. I can't tell you. I haven't had Casa Noble Añejo in years. Sounds like a personal. No, you can think what you want. I don't agree. I don't think it does. I think it just has to do with being true to the consumer and giving the consumer the correct information. Because, like I said, flavoring additives are undetectable. So somebody can say something's additive free, and there's no way for them to completely 100% verify it. And if any organization wants to submit stuff saying it's additive free, and they can show that it's verifiable through their methods, the CRT said, submit it through and we'll approve it. That's what they told the master distiller too, that got the letter today saying, they said, if you put additive free on there, you got to 100% be able to verify that that's true. And if you can't, you're in trouble. Does cost anybody? Okay, I did that one already. Okay. Is this going to affect companies like Tequila and Taste Tequila? Are they still allowed to? Like, I don't know. You can ask them about that. I just know brands cannot put it on their bottle. They cannot advertise being additive free. I'm sure anybody that wants to test it themselves, and if you wanted to buy a bottle and send it off to a lab for testing, go ahead. It's a waste of money because they're not going to be able to tell you whether they used flavoring additives in it or not, because, like I said, they're undetectable. You can test for glycerin in your kitchen. You don't even have to send it to a lab. Is the CRT controlled by? It is the government of Mexico. Yeah, it is. It is the Mexican government. Just like the TTB here, which controls our alcohol in the United States, is run by the U.S. government. It's a government agency. And each state has their own TTB that you have to submit, stuff to. Now, everyone thinks too there's poison and stuff coming through. There was once an agave spirit. It's not a tequila that was being imported to the U.S. that got denied importation into the U.S. It got denied importation to the U.S. because the amounts of lead contained in the spirit was too high and dangerous to pregnant women. Now, not that pregnant women should be drinking tequila or agave spirits, but lead was deemed too high. So there's people watching what's coming into the country and what goes on the shelves. We have regulatory agencies here that monitor that stuff. So you want the labels to say that what the ingredients are in all of your liquor, right? We shouldn't just focus on tequila. We should focus on all the liquor, right? Why not have them put their ingredients on all the liquor and do that through the TTB here in the US? They can do it. And then anything being imported has to have ingredient labels on the bottles. That's the way to do it. Not go force a foreign government to make changes because you want it that way. People in Mexico, they don't care. They love additive tequilas. They love them. It's a poison. They just want to get drunk. There's some that know what they're doing, and there's some that are passionate about it and want to get tequila, but they know what to drink. They know what to buy. They know what not to buy. And that's what I try to educate you guys all on. I don't ship anywhere. I don't sell alcohol, so I don't ship anywhere. Billions of dollars a play here. Yeah, it's a big industry. Tequila's a big industry. Now, one of the things that somebody said to me when I was having conversations with all these people in the industry in Mexico, and they're like, people are focused on additives, which are nothing. But no one's getting into the whole fact that you can buy diffused tequila from a diffuser, from a distillery using diffused tequila, and you can use it in your tequila without specifying that you bought diffused tequila from someplace else. Kind of misleading, right? When you look up a distillery and you look to see what they have, and they say, oh, they have autoclaves, and they have or ornos, and they have roller mills, and they have copper pot stills and stainless steel fermentation tanks. And then what you don't know is, but they've been buying hundreds of gallons of diffused tequila from one of the tequila makers that has a diffuser, and using that in their tequila to help cut prices, cut costs. That can happen openly and there's no disclosure on it. You don't know. Only way you can tell is to taste it, right? If it tastes like garbage, chances are it's garbage. You don't like the taste of it? Don't buy it. No one's forcing anybody to buy anything. Now, one of the things I do, and when I do my reviews, is I let when a brand reaches out to me and says, "Hey, we want to send you a bottle and want you to review it and do a review on it and let us know what you think." And I said, "Okay, great." But I tell them, "Look, I'm going to do a review for you, but it's going to be 100% unbiased. It's going to be my opinion, and if I think it has additives, I'm going to say it. If it's really sweet, and that's not what I promote." And sometimes they go, "Okay, well, thanks," and then they never get the tequila. And other times they go, "Yeah, no worries," and they send it to me. So I don't get a lot of additive tequilas to review because the ones that know that there's additives in it, they won't send it to me. I've gone out and bought stuff just because people wanted to know, and I'm not afraid to drink an added tequila to do a review. I don't think it's going to hurt me. I don't like the flavor of it, so it's a waste for me because I end up having to give it to my wife, who doesn't really like tequila that much anyways. She's more of a wine drinker. But, I do this stuff to try to help you guys and give you guys the information you need so you can make informed decisions. Does Cabal and Añejo have additives? I'm not going to make any statements right now on what has additives and what doesn't. And that's not what we're here for. But I did do a review on Cabal, and you can see my review. I think they've changed distilleries now, so I haven't tried anything new from them. But I did review their older stuff, and you can see the video on the channel. You can see what I said about it. We're still the minority. Yeah, exactly. Additive drinkers grossly outnumber everyone. Everyone should just exactly. We're outnumbered. And it's funny because I was talking to a guy and I'm like, "Why do you put additives?" He goes, "Because that's what people drink." And I go, "Okay, but we have a bunch of people that don't like additives in it." And he said to me, he goes, "Look," he goes, 75% of the consumers out there like the sweet stuff. 35% don't. Who do you think I want to target with my tequila? Okay, it makes sense to me. Yeah, target the 75%, right? Not the 25% that don't. But it's growing. People are learning. I've moved a lot of people from the sweet stuff to good tequila. I'm glad that I've done that. I love promoting the stuff, the guys that do it right. And I'll keep promoting them, and I'll keep doing reviews and talking about them and giving you all the information you know about their processes and stuff like that. And promoting their tequilas because they're the ones that need it. They're the ones that want it. And so that's what I do. I go to help these guys. Carrera. No one heard of Carrera tequila until I came out with the Carrera review. It was a really not well-known brand. But I went to there. I was impressed by what they did. We decided to do a special project. They did the 54 for me, and it was absolutely amazing. So amazing that we bought the whole batch. And that was my way of supporting the brand. And now I love the Carrera 54. It's one of my favorite high-proof Blancos. G4, I've been to visit Felipe many times. Felipe is like my family. He's like a family member to me. I've loved G4. I'm a big fan of G4. I drink G4 all the time. I've got a massive shelf down here filled with G4, everything from Blancos to Repos to Añejos to Extra Añejos to 55 months, 5 years. It's loaded. We did 2 barrels of the 5-year Extra Añejo. We were the first in the country to get it. We did also the first group to do the 108 proof Blanco. I support people like Felipe all the time. Carlos Camarena all the time. I love Ocho. I love El Tesoro is my well tequila here. I make my cocktails using El Tesoro. I drink El Tesoro all the time. You can see the El Tesoro bottles back here. I love El Tesoro. Yayo, 1414, love Yayo, love the stuff. Sergio Cruz is a good friend of mine, and I love promoting the stuff that they make because I know they don't use additives. They won't, and all their stuff tastes great. I endorse the guys that do it right. And I'm trying to expose you guys, too, to some other ones that are the same way, that don't use additives, that do it right. And so look for more videos from some other places, too, where we talk about their tequilas and what they're like, and whether they use additives or not, whether I believe that there's additives in it, and we go from there, right? We work together as a team here. I meant, does ferment and still to check with them? Send them an email and check. I don't know. They change where they ship to all the time. Patron says their tequila is additive free, but I was never sure because Tequila Matchmaker doesn't even put their stamp on it. Is it okay to believe it now? I mean, if you like it, okay, here's the question. Do you like Patron? Do you enjoy it? And do you enjoy drinking it? And is it something you want to keep drinking? Answer that question for me. Let me know. Yes, please like the video, you guys. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like for all the information I'm sharing with you today. I'm giving you a lot of good information. And this will be here. This will be saved to the channel so they can come back and view this later. But give it a thumbs up if you're here. Help out for me sharing all this information. I think this is really good. You guys are asking some good questions. We're having a good conversation here. It's been very civil, which I like. And only one person has accused me so far of something, so it's been good. So, Brian, answer my question. Do you like drinking Patron? Is it something you enjoy? I'm waiting for him to answer. Because, what is this? So just like you said, Mark, about folks not wanting to spend a little more, no matter how much I show folks G4 is great, but folks here in the U.S. don't want to spend the extra $5 to $15 more for G4 Blanc. Exactly. People don't want to. That's why the best-selling tequilas are the ones that are like, your Cuervos, Cuervo Traditionals, your Sauzas, your like Tres Generaciones, your Cazadores. I mean, even the people that used to make Cazadores don't drink it anymore. The family that sold it won't drink it anymore. There's all kinds of really bad tequilas out there that people are okay drinking. As long as they're buying it, it's going to fill the shelves, right? As soon as they stop buying it and move to other tequilas, then that'll change. So the thing for us to do is to focus on supporting the brands that we like. Now, see, here, one of the things that I've noticed is everyone talks about wanting to support the brands that make tequila, and they'll buy one bottle and then that's it, and then move on to something else. They buy another bottle. It's like, look, if you like a brand and you want to support them, keep buying bottles. There's no rule saying you have to go out and try every single tequila out there. You find one you like, you find a master distiller that makes good stuff. For example, you could fill your bar with Tapatio, with El Tesoro, with Ocho, with what is it? Curado, with Villalobos. I mean, you can, with everything from La Alteña, right? And you can fill your bar with G4, with Volans, with Don Vicente, and everything that Felipe makes. You can support the guys that are doing it right by keep buying their tequila. No law, no rule says you have to try every single tequila out there. And I get people all the time going, hey, I saw this tequila, Mark. Do you think it's got additives? Does it look like it's any good? And it's like, so I have to look and say, okay, here's the nom on it. I know this master distiller, and it's not one that I particularly care for. And so then I have to say, that's not one I would buy. And they're like, okay, thanks. I do that all the time. But if you stick to the ones that you like and you know they're doing it right, and you buy their brands, you support them. You support the brands. There's no law saying that you have to try every single tequila out there. And you walk into Total Wine, they're going to push a lot of that sweet additive stuff on you, and they'll tell you, oh, this is really good. But but do your research and know ahead of time. And if you went there for a certain tequila and to buy it, stick to your guns and just buy that tequila. And if they don't have it, look someplace else. Just accept it as a miserable, but sometimes you just have to accept it. Sometimes it's out of your control, right? And if you sit there and you are too busy stressing over it and worried about it, what fun is it in drinking and enjoying tequila? Sometimes life deals you a blow that you don't like, and guess what? You're just going to have to live with it. It's just the way life is. I used to try to fight everything all the time, and it's just not worth it. In this case, you're fighting the ultimate authority, or trying to, and it's not worth it because you're not going to win. They're going to win. And honestly, I've met people from the CRT, because the CRT people, I don't think understand this. Anytime a distillery is doing production, the CRT's there. They have a rep there. And a lot of times it's the same person for every day, every batch, every time they're producing. It's the same guy that shows up there. And I've talked to a couple, and when I talk to them, they're food scientists. So they're getting a degree in Mexico in food science and are working in the lab, analyzing stuff. They love tequila. They get to know the master distiller and the distillery that they're at, and they pretty much know what they're doing there. And they test things. And they'll tell you what they're testing stuff, what they're doing when you're in the lab with them. A lot of times you got to leave them alone because they're doing their job. But they're really nice people, and they're very passionate about tequilas. I haven't found anything yet that I can say is negative about anybody from the CRT that I've had experience with. But as far as I know, it's comprised of people that are very passionate and love tequila. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Their job is to protect tequila as a definition, as a term, to protect it so other people aren't bastardizing it. And there's been times the CRT caught tequila companies that were using espadín in it instead of Weber Blue Agave. They got busted. They shut the distillery down. They confiscated the tequila. They're confiscating fake tequila too all the time, and that's the stuff you got to watch out for. That's the stuff that'll kill you. So when people are producing some kind of distillate somewhere and labeling it as tequila and passing off fake tequila, that's the stuff you got to watch out for, and that's the stuff the CRT is really good at looking for and catching. You'll see stuff all the time about fake tequilas being caught and confiscated. And if you think that CRT isn't here in the U.S., we had a guy here in Southern California that made stuff. It was called, what was it called? It was called, he's not a Temecula, it's called Temecula. Tequila, yeah, I think that's what it's called. And the CRT shut him down real quick. Too close to tequila. Sorry, you can't do that. It's not tequila. And they shut him down. They're good at that stuff. They're good at monitoring and protecting their DO. Let me see. I have a neighbor that loves Espolón. I just have put it in drinks, but never sipped it. Is it any good? It all depends. If you like it, drink it. I'm not a fan of Espolón just because for me it's kind of a little harsh. There's other things I would rather drink in that price range, so I don't drink Espolón that much. The other issue with getting good tequila in the hands of those that are not familiar with it is the tequila boom. Hard to get good tequila. Stores cannot get it at a reasonable price. Exactly. There's shortages on some of the stuff. Fortaleza is one of them. G4's kind of hard to find now, but there's a lot of other really good brands out there. And if you look at my reviews, you can see I've reviewed them. You can look at my reviews and see some of the stuff out there that I recommend that's good, and I believe to be additive free based on my tasting it. And I'd recommend trying them. And I know the people that make them, and I know they don't want additives in there. I know the way they feel about them, and because I know them on a personal level. When this whole CRT thing went off and hit yesterday morning, okay, this came out yesterday morning, my phone blew up. My phone went crazy, and it went crazy from people all over Mexico. Master distillers, brand owners, sending me notes and stuff all the time. Why do they like me? Do they like me because I'm a paid shill? No, they like me because I'm friends with them. I listen to what they say. I understand what they're doing. I ask questions. I get to know them, and I'm friendly to them. And if their brand is good and made right, I support it. And I don't charge them. The only thing I charge is a bottle of each expression. That's it. That's all it costs. You own a brand and you want a review from the Tequila Hombre, send me a bottle of each expression you have for review, a 750 milliliter sealed bottle, or if it's a liter bottle, send a liter, whatever size your retail bottle is, even if it's 700 milliliter, just send a sealed retail bottle to me. I'll do the review, and if it's good, I'll post about it and tell people about it. And we'll even, if we can get it and distribute it in California, we'll put it up on Ferment and Still so people can get access to it and buy it from all over the U.S. That's what we do. That's what I do. That's my whole existence. And so that's why people from all over Mexico and all over the U.S. that own tequila brands or that are master distillers message me and give me information. And you know why? You know why that happens? You know why I get all this information? It's because I'm a firm believer that if you give, you will get back, right? I give without expecting. I give to these brands. I give to the master distillers. I help. And I don't expect anything in return, but they're more than happy to help me because I help them. That's the way I operate. You'll hear other kinds of rumors about all kinds of things. I guess a multi-millionaire off of something. I don't know. But none of that stuff is true. I'm not like that. And people that know me, people that take the time to know me, people that met me will tell you I'm about as honest and unfiltered as you can get. What is this? Mark accepts the Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl in his lifetime. If Mark can just accept it, everyone, well, we can with tequila. Robert, I have accepted that the Cowboys probably will never win another Super Bowl. I've accepted it. And if you don't believe me, ask my wife, because we're watching a game and I'm like, all of a sudden they go down and I go, it's done. They're done. They're going to lose. My wife's like, good, you got to be positive. They're not going to. I'm like, no, they're going to lose. I know the Cowboys. This is what they do. They're going to lose. And she's like, no, you have to have full confidence. I go, no, I've seen this. I've been a Cowboys fan since the 70s. There isn't anything that you can't tell me that I already don't know. Except you are correct, Robert. Yeah, there you go. The general population in Mexico can't afford the Cascaweens, the Ochos, etc. To where the big boys price their stuff to where people can buy. That's why the U.S. market is the biggest. Exactly. Thank you, Ben. That you're exactly correct. Most of the stuff that the people in Mexico drink, and when you ask them, is like Jose Cuervo traditional. And if you ask them, a lot of times when I'm there and I see somebody drinking something, I go, why do you drink that? And they go, oh, because my grandfather drank it, and my father drank it, and now I drink it, and my brother drinks it. My whole family drinks it. And that's the reason why they drink it. And even if it's changed in the way it tastes over the years, where tequila used to be really good, and now it's diffused, and it's bitter, and they're using additives in it or whatever, they don't care. Because their father drank it, their grandfather drank it, their great-grandfather drank it, and people have been drinking it for generations in their house, and they're going to drink it too. God bless them. Those are the kind of customers people want, right? As much as I'd like for liquors to have full list of ingredients in the U.S., it would likely take away a lot of the high-end collector interest that is currently in tequila, dispersing it. Yeah, well, it could. I don't know. I mean, it could. Question. All right, here we go. So what will happen when the bottles that are already labeled with the additive-free labels, such as Cascana's, just wondering. I don't know if they're already labeled. I think they'll probably let it go for now. I know that I just got a note from somebody saying that they were forced to remove 12,000 additive free stickers off of bottles before they shipped yesterday. 12,000 bottles. Wow. Yikes. Okay. Mention other things. Was there already labeled? Okay, that's CRT or no CRT. I know who I'm sticking with. Okay, you're entitled to stick with whoever you want. I'm a big fan of the CRT because they protect tequila. I mean, if there's no CRT, tequila can be made anywhere. Who's going to stop them? But the CRT is the one that regulates that. So, I mean, people hate the guy in charge. They always do, right? If we hate the government. How many videos do you see on Instagram where people are challenging the police? I mean, really? But there's all kinds of videos out there like, you can't arrest me. You can't. Everybody hates the people that are enforcing regulations. But their job is to protect tequila, and that's what they're doing. And I can totally understand that. 49ers win anyways. Yeah, the 49ers are in the Super Bowl. That's true. Yep. Okay, says, I don't care for Patron, really. I was just curious. I'd rather spend the amount of money in dozens of other bottles. I just avoid mixed dose because those for sure give bad hangover. They do, yeah. Mixed dose will give you a good hangover, bad hangover because of the sugar. If you ever want to do an experiment about hangovers, okay, and get an idea of where they come from and what happens and stuff, a sugar wash, what's called sugar that's fermented, will give you a nasty hangover. Same with mead, with fermented honey. If you ever drink mead, it'll wipe you on your butt. I mean, it's literally, you won't be able to function. The headache is so bad. Now, with hangovers, I mean, the main thing to do is if you want to prevent a hangover, is drink lots of water, hydrate while you're drinking your whatever it is you're drinking. Hydrate and eat something. Don't do it on an empty stomach, and don't drink too much because ethanol, like I said before, is a poison. The World Health Organization said no amount of ethanol consumed is considered healthy. 0. All right, so we're poisoning our body anyways. So it's good. So what's the difference if we have some natural additives in it? Now, somebody asked too, when I did this video about organic certification, okay? Now, just because something is listed as organic doesn't mean that they can't use additives in it. They just have to use organic additives. And if you search organic vanilla flavoring, you can find it. Organic vegetable glycerin, you can find it. You can find all kinds of organic flavorings and organic vegetable glycerin, and you can use that and you're still in compliance with it being organic because the ingredient you're using is also organic. And they can buy it straight from like any of the supply houses here in the US that have it certified organic, and I'm sure they have places in Mexico that certify organic there as well, and they can buy them from flavor houses in Mexico. Now, I did some work in the food industry a while back. My father worked in the food industry. I did some work in the food industry as a executive recruiter for a little while. And when I did that, one of the projects I worked on was for Frito-Lay or PepsiCo Mexico. And my job was to recruit flavor scientists for international flavor profiles in Mexico for their international division of PepsiCo. And so I've got some good friends that are flavor scientists that I get my information for in regards to additives, because I placed them in really nice jobs in Mexico working for PepsiCo, which PepsiCo is a huge organization. They own Frito-Lay and everybody else. I mean, they own a bunch of things. But I've got resources. I got flavor scientist resources that I get information from. And I've got people in the food industry that I can also reference, including my brother, who's a chemical engineer as well, and food product developer in the food industry. So I've got a lot of resources I can check with on things, and I'm not one to believe what people tell me without getting proof and verifying it. And I recommend you do that too, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of things out there to promote a narrative. And don't fall victims to somebody trying to promote a narrative and believing everything that they tell you, when in fact it may not be true. Think about that. Verify before you start. And I learned that too, because when I first started doing reviews, I was getting information from people, and then I would say something in a review, and then I would have people correct me and tell me I was an idiot and stuff, because the source of my information wasn't a valid source. And I've actually met some of the master distillers because some information that I gotten from someplace else was incorrect, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, hombre, we loved your video, but this information you put in there was wrong." And I was like, oops, sorry. So I don't give people ammo to pick on me when I do reviews and stuff. I verify the information with the master distillers, with the distillery, with the brand before I say stuff to make sure it's correct. And so when I see things and I hear things, I ask about it. And one of the things I did on my trips to Mexico, when I'm sitting across from master distillers at some of the well-known, respected distilleries that we all love and cherish, I say to them, so tell me, what do you think about additives? Are they as bad as people say? And the answer that I got from most of them was, look, Mark, we don't use additives here. We don't believe in it, but there's a reason why they're used, and we understand it. And if people want to use them, we're okay with it. Oh, okay. Like, it's no big deal. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, thank you. And I heard that from a lot of people, a lot. So, let's see. There's little bottles of. Okay. Thank you for taking the time to share. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I do this every Thursday. We talk about a bunch of different things. We have good conversations. So make sure you tune in for the live streams in the future, and then watch my reviews. Just subscribe to the channel. I got lots of good information. Thank you for the discussion. Great content once again. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Look for bottles with scratched off. There you go. You can do that. Sure. I absolutely enjoy your recommendations on tequila. I enjoy your reviews and the knowledge you have given us on ferment still. Take notes. If I can find some of those tequilas here, I get it. If not, I'll order from. There you go. Okay, perfect. Good way to handle it. Yes, ferment still is the one is a collection of tequilas that I believe are additive free that I recommend, and that's all that's listed on there. Agave spirits and tequilas that I recommend. Cascanas taste like rubbing alcohol. Okay. Thank you for sharing your opinion on that. I felt a stave longer than what I should have. Oh, you left a stave long. Had to leave town, and I don't like the flavor I got when I got back. Help, Mark. I don't want to make it a crystalline. Okay, we'll pull the stave out and let it sit for about 4 weeks and taste it again and let me know what it's like, okay? Let it sit for a while. Pull the stave out and let it sit for a while. It'll change. It gets better. So give it some time, all right, Robert? I have no problem with the CRT. I just know I prefer tequilas that don't need additives. Well, then buy the ones that don't have additives. That's what I do. I buy the ones that don't have additives. You look at my shelves behind me. You look at what's behind here. I got Lalo, I got Pasote, I got El Tequileño, I got Fortaleza, I got San Matias, I got Tapatio, Excelencia, El Luchador, I got Cascanes, Primo, Juan Lobo, Yayo, El Tesoro, Arete, Curado, Wild Common, Galindo, Aguila Real, Raysol, which I love Raysol, Calle 23, Criollo, Tao Tequila. All of these are additive free. There's lots of choices. So why pick on the ones that use additives? Buy the ones that don't, right? Support these guys. These guys are the ones that want you buying their tequila. There's no rule saying you have to try everything. Why change? If you find something you like, stick with it. I wish I did that, because I've spent just in the first 2 years of doing reviews, I paid for most of my tequila until I built the channel up where I got noticed by brands where they want me to do reviews. I was averaging $20,000 a year in tequila. $20,000 a year. That's a lot of money. Thank you, Jermaine. Hopefully everyone's hitting hit the thumbs up button. Give it a like for sharing this information, you guys. What is the popular tequilas in Mexico are the ones that are very heavily advertised. To me, this is a big reason why Don Julio is so popular. They do love the Don Julio there. That's correct. And it's the 70th anniversary one, the Cristalino, that they really love and they buy a lot of. I've seen a lot of Mexicans drinking that when I'm in Mexico. So I just joined, so sorry for the repeat question, but what was the reasoning behind making the labels illegal? You'll have to go back and watch the video from the beginning. It will be on YouTube, so you can watch it again and watch it. I go through a bunch of stuff on it. I can totally see you as an executive recruiter. Thank you. Yeah, it was not something. Being a people person and sitting in a room by myself on the phone was not something I was a big fan of. So I didn't last very long in it, but I did fill some positions in the food industry when I helped my dad. So, what is this? Food science people are often, oh, come on, Chris, let's be better than that. I don't want to pick on food scientist people. I don't want to pick on people. We're not here to bash people. We're here just to share information, share the facts, and go from there. All right. I don't believe in belittling people. I don't believe in insulting people or making up false claims about people to raise myself up, because it doesn't happen. When you belittle people, you belittle yourself. So let's keep things positive. Let's not get into negative talk about people. Let's keep things just talking about the facts and what we're looking at here. Okay. Well, thank you, Sarah. Sarah says, as always, love your passion. Curious, do any of the brands using additives actually label their bottle as having additives? No, they don't. They don't need to. I mean, up to 1% of the calming additives, they don't need to. But, like I said, there is some companies that put additives on it. And I posted a picture earlier here. Look. This is the berry flavored tequila that's 100% agave. So everyone that gets upset about 100% agave needs to understand that 100% agave is fermentables. It has nothing to do with what's in the bottle. But here is a berry flavored 100% agave tequila called Salt. They sent me a few. They sent me a citrus, a berry, and another one, and I did a review on it, and it was tasty, but I'm not into flavored tequila, so it wasn't something that I would recommend, but it didn't taste bad. And I'm going to get some other flavored stuff that come through, and that's being sent to me now from a brand that does 100% agave and doesn't use additives in their normal stuff, but they make some flavored stuff for cocktails, which is fine. And they're sending me some, and I'll gladly taste it and talk about it. I'm sure it's going to taste good. And I'll definitely use it for cocktails, but there's some brands out there like this that show that they have additives in it, because there's no berry flavored tequila that's natural. So yeah, and then also there's like coconut tequila out there. There's all kinds of flavored stuff out there, and there's nothing wrong with those either. People use them in drinks, or you can just, drink it by itself as a cocktail if you want to put ice in it and stuff or whatever. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Michael wants to know, is any luck? Yeah, well, I'm going to set it up. I need to set it up. I know you're here in Southern California. But I need to get a restaurant that can have that can take it, because a lot of times they don't have enough room to bring a group like that in, or I need to get another tequila rep to bring some stuff in for tastings too, because I'm sure some of the brands that I work with and know and support would be more than happy to come and do tastings and stuff with us to educate people on it. So I'm still working on it. I'll get it together. What is it? Watched your additive video and you said it was 1% per additive, so up to 4%. Is that true, or is it collective of the 4 equaling 1%? No, it's 1% per mellowing additive. So if they use all 4 of them, right, then they can have 4%. But you're not going to find brands that use all 4 of them. I mean, it's, in all honesty, the mellowing additive that's used the most is glycerin. And if you ever search glycerin and alcohol, do a Google search on that later, and you'll see everybody that's like, yeah, oh, we love putting glycerin in our bourbon when we make it because it rounds it out, it gives it a smoother palate, and there's nothing wrong with glycerin. It's not going to kill you. It's completely 100% human consumption safe. It's in a lot of products that you eat every day. You'd be surprised what glycerin's in. But yeah, it's that's the only one that really is the one that's used the most. You're not going to find a brand that's going to throw the whole kit and caboodle in there. They're not going to throw everything in there, but if they do, they're only allowed up to 4%. That is correct. The additive video was really insightful. I'm glad it helped. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to provide you information. It's supposed to give you information to be an informed consumer. And you should also be able to call bull when somebody says something to you and you know it's not true. Aspartame. Oh, they use aspartame. That's and you should not be afraid to say that's and if they say, oh no, it's true, then say prove it. Prove it. Show me one tequila out there that has aspartame in it. And you know why they don't use aspartame? Because aspartame has expiration period. If you ever bought Diet Coke, I used to drink Diet Coke before I switched to Coke Zero. If you're ever a Diet Coke drinker and you leave your Diet Coke in the garage for an extended period of time and you pop it open when the aspartame has gone bad, yuck. It tastes nasty. Aspartame expires. They're not going to put anything in any tequila that expires, especially when it has to sit on the shelf. They don't want people sending stuff back to them. And plus, it's expensive. It's more expensive than sugar. And glycerin's cheap. Go to Amazon and buy it. This is what I enjoy doing too. Is try tasting all the additives that are being put into tequila. That's one of the ways to be able to identify them, right? Is to taste them. Go to a flavor house. You can look up, just Google flavor houses or natural flavorings, and you can get a bunch of different flavor houses that sell flavorings. And they sell a lot to the commercial food industry. And you can order vegetable glycerin. You can order vanilla flavoring. You can order caramel flavoring. And try it, taste it. It actually will help develop your palate. And then try dropping it in something. Take a tequila that you have and put a little drop of vanilla flavoring in there and watch what happens. Watch how it overtakes everything in your glass. Just one drop, one little drop. Watch how it takes up everything in your glass. And all you taste is vanilla. That's the way you know. That's the way you know. It's through taste. You can't prove it through analytical reasons, but by tasting you can get an idea because it takes over everything. It takes the lead. It's up front and personal. And that's how you know. You take a drink of something but people used to send me notes saying, hey, tried this one tequila and it has a lot of vanilla in it. Does it have additives? And they go, well, did all you taste was vanilla? Like, no, I got some cooked agave and I got this. Then chances are it's not additives, it's just from the wood. Oh, it's true. I recommend everyone watch that, as this explains a lot of what's being discussed. Yeah, exactly. That's a good video. And it's gotten a lot of views, which is great. And a lot of people are watching it. And it was funny because when I posted that video, I was thinking, oh God, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack. You know what I got? I got a ton of people sending me messages from all over Mexico, all my master distiller friends and stuff saying, with clapping emojis on it saying, great job on the additive video. It's about time somebody posted something like that. And I was like, well, thanks. I just thought it was time that somebody kind of just did the research and collected all this information and just let people know. Because there's so much bad information out there. And it's all to push a narrative. And we're not about narratives. It shouldn't be about narratives. Narratives hurt people. We don't want to hurt people, right? Why would we want to hurt people? If they want to make something, make a product and do it a certain way, let them. We don't need to embarrass them. We don't need to hurt them. We don't need to hurt their business. And if the consumers like it and they want to buy it, let them buy it. They want to be able to ring the bell on the top of their bottle, let them ring the bell. But just, if they're interested, you can ask them, hey, do you want to know what that tequila is all about? Would you be interested in something that's maybe a fraction of the cost that tastes good naturally? And sometimes they go, what do you mean taste good naturally? And then you can explain to them. Oh, they use stuff in there to adulterate and change the flavor so it tastes good to you. It tastes like vanilla and caramel, right? Yeah. Really sweet, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's because they put additives in there to make it taste that way. That's not what real tequila tastes like. Let me show you what real tequila tastes like. Okay, great. I do that every day with people here at my house, my friends. Every day. But you can't insult them. You can't make them angry, because if you do, they're not going to listen to you. If you tell them, hey, if you drink Clase Azul, you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're blah, 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 and you're blah, 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 they're going to go, whoa, dude. All right, snob. Tequila snobs. But if you're nice about it and you go, hey, oh, you like Clase Azul. Awesome. You like it a lot. It's really smooth, right? And they go, yeah, I enjoy it. It's really smooth. Okay, did you know that they don't have to put it on the bottle? It's not by regulation, but they use additives in there, vanilla and caramel, because it's really sweet, right? Yeah. That's not what real tequila tastes like. You want to see what real tequila tastes like? And they go, yeah, sure. I go, here, try this. And you give them a sample, give them a pour of something. If you're at a bar or whatever, at your house, whatever, give them a pour of it and say, here, try this. And sometimes they'll taste it and they go, yeah, I don't like this. I like this Clase Azul better. Like, okay, good. Okay, good. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. And the people that make Clase Azul are making a living, and there are people that are working for them are making a living, and everyone's happy, and it's not our job to step on that. It's not our job to put them on the spot. The CRT's job to do that. CRT's job to make sure they're doing what they're allowed to do and what they're not, and they're doing that. Let them do their job. All right. It's been an hour and 42 minutes. I've done a lot. I hope this stuff has helped you guys. I hope it's helped you and given you information that you need and making informed decisions now. That's my whole goal here. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Click subscribe and join, and click the notification bell next to it and watch for my reviews. Go watch all my reviews on here. I promise you, all the information I give you, 100% unbiased. I can't be bought. People don't pay me. What is this? Ansel Adams. I love Ansel. Ansel Adams didn't need Photoshop because he took a bitchin' negative. Thankful for the distillers that don't need additives. I respect their skills and expertise. I do too. Absolutely. And a lot of those guys are the guys that I talk to every day. Go look through my Instagram. Go see my pictures of who I'm with. I support, those are the guys that do it, that don't need additives are the ones that I support 100%. I am not an additive tequila drinker. I don't like it. I don't like the flavor profile. But people do. And who are we to say they shouldn't be able to drink it? And until we actually start putting ingredients and what's in our tequila, what's in our spirits here in the U.S. on the label, I don't think we should be telling anybody else they should be doing it. You know? You don't like it? Don't drink it. You don't like the tequila regulated by the CRT and this is what they require and what they do? Don't buy tequila. No one's forcing you to. And when you're not buying it, it leaves more on the shelf for people like myself who want to buy what they're going to buy. Whether it has additives or not on the label. I was trying lots of different tequilas until the day you recommended El Luchador Repo in Carrera. I found my base. Anything else I must try? Anything else I try must stem from similar awesome agave forward brands. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. So you got the Carrera 54 or the regular Carrera? I know we talked about that. And El Luchador Repo. El Luchador is a great brand. I love El Luchador. And I love it because it's different, because it's of the white Burgundy barrels that they use for aging. It's really adds a complexity and depth. Now, white Burgundy barrels, right? So what's being added into this tequila from white Burgundy barrels? Well, white Burgundy for one. So there's wine being added to it. So that's an additive. And then, any compounds from the wood. But it's so complex and beautiful tasting and just an amazing tequila. The Repo and the Añejo both are great. I love their base Blanco too. Their base Blanco is really good, especially their 110 high proof. I'm a big fan of El Luchador. I always have been. And I recommend people try it. It's a great brand. What is this? Much respect, tequila, for not telling. I don't tell people what to drink. I don't tell them what to drink. I don't. And then I've been known for. I have a lot of haters. I have a lot of, if you ever post about me in other groups, I have a lot of haters. I have a group that's called Tequila University. And I have zero tolerance for people that are jerks to people on posts. And we have a strict rule in our group that do not provide your negative opinion unless it's asked for. Okay? And if you do, you're going to be removed. And I have a lot of people that'll bash you and bash me and tell you all kinds of things about me that aren't true because I booted them out for giving an opinion to somebody that on a tequila that they didn't like, that was rude and obnoxious and just not nice. And that's not what gets people to want to be able to make changes or to learn. Once you put somebody on the defensive, guess what? The learning stops. They stop trusting you. They don't like you. And they're not going to listen to anything you say. And all they really want to do is give you the bird and tell you to F off. That's all they want to do. So what good is that? It's not good. Jermaine, thank you. This was a great show. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Jermaine. Thank you for watching. You agree with Sarah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rob. What's the difference between natural additives and artificial additives, right? Right, Mark? Yeah, exactly. Well, and most of the additives are natural anyways. They're natural. Most of the stuff they buy is natural. Because if you buy artificial additives, they taste too medicinal. They don't taste right. Natural additives are just the flavor compound suspended in an alcohol solution or propylene glycol, which propylene glycol is safe for human consumption as well. But most of the stuff that the tequila industry uses is suspended in alcohol. It's flavor compounds suspended in alcohol. Which that's one of the reasons why it's like when you put it in the pan too, your house may smell like chocolate chip cookies or whatever. It's because all the additives or got burned off, the flavoring additives. But even if you use natural tequila in a pan, your house will still smell like chocolate chip cookies and stuff because the vanilla is volatile and it will disappear and be gone. And you'll smell it in the air. I mean, I did El Tesoro Añejo, and my house still smelled like chocolate chip cookies. It could still smell vanilla and chocolate notes that are coming off from the volatile compounds that were in there, that the molecules that evaporated. So it happens. But it will tell you, the pan method on my additive test will tell you if there's glycerin in it. Other than Ferment and Still, can you recommend other sites or liquor stores in SoCal? Yeah, there's a. I did it. I've done some shopping with the Hombre videos. I like High Time Wines in Costa Mesa. That's a nice store. They do have a good selection there. I like Mission Wines up in Pasadena. I go there occasionally. There's also one here in Riverside, La Bodega. Samir, the guy that's running their tequila now, he's done a good job of putting some really nice additive-free tequilas in there. They still carry a lot of the additive tequilas in there as well, but they have a good selection of additive-free, good quality tequilas in there. So I recommend people heading in there. It's a family-owned store, and they're good people, and I recommend, if you go, supporting them. And if you do go, say the Tequila Hombre sent you. They're here in Riverside off of Central, down by the Riverside Plaza. And if you go in there, tell them the Tequila Hombre sent you, and they'll give you a 10% discount. They're good friends. I love that store. I go down there and buy stuff all the time. And they know me. They're like, "Hey, Hombre." When I walk in, "Hey, Hombre. Hey, what's going on?" They watch the channel. So, yeah, exactly, like cough syrup. Yeah, the cough syrup taste, those are artificial flavors in there. You know when it's like, when it's just off. And you can tell when they're using artificial too, because it has a really bad aftertaste as well. But most of them don't use artificial. They'll use natural flavorings, which is just suspended flavoring molecules and alcohol or propylene glycol. You can order them with alcohol or propylene glycol from the flavor houses, and a lot of people can order them too, because vapors use them for making their vape mixture. Normally it's nicotine, propylene glycol, and vegetable glycerin mixture with the flavoring compound in there that adds the flavor to whatever juice they're vaping at the time, which is kind of a whole disgusting thing, but yeah, but like cough syrup. All right, you guys, this has been really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome. I hope you liked the information I shared with you, and I'm glad. Thank you so much. I appreciate that we kept this civil. We kept it with just information and expressing opinions without attacking people. I'm big in not attacking people and not making false accusations. So thank you for keeping it civil and having an adult conversation. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you that support the channel and watch my videos and support what I do. And I promise you, like I said before, I am not ever bought or paid for by any brands anytime. The reviews that I do are 100% honest and completely unbiased. But I will tell you, and I'm transparent about this too, if a brand, after I do a review and I say I enjoyed the tequila and I'm a big fan, if they come to me afterwards and say, "Hey, we would like to have you work with us on doing some other things," I would accept doing other things with brands and doing projects and stuff with them. And I've done that in the past. So, but only I say in a review and taste their tequila and say, "This is good stuff." I never receive payments for reviews. I never accept payments for reviews. I've had people that offered to pay me for a review. I refuse that. I don't need it. I don't want it. I always want to remain 100% unbiased. And that's a reason why too, I've had several places ask me if I wanted my own brand. I don't want my own brand, because then it would steer me away from being unbiased. And I don't want that. So I would never do that. I only endorse the brands that I enjoy, that I like, and that I think you guys should like, and that you should support. That's the only ones that I support, and they're additive free as far as I know, and have natural, taste like a really good natural flavored tequila, made right, traditionally made the way tequila should taste. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. All right, so there you guys go. I'm gonna wrap this up now, and until next time, don't forget, we got 52 people. If you haven't already, please click the thumbs up and give this a like for me. Help me out. Appreciate it. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So keep following the channel. Keep watching my reviews. Don't be afraid to listen to what I say. I promise you, it's all facts. And I do express an opinion occasionally, but I will tell you it's an opinion. And if you do that, you'll be turned on to some great tequilas. So watch some reviews and learn. Thank you. Salute, guys. Bye.